Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Ikram. On today's topic is in regards to disaster management. It is one of the natural hazard which is known as cyclone. Cyclones are among the most awesome events that nature can produce. They pose a major threat to lives and property in many parts of the world. Every year, these sudden, unpredictable, violent storms bring widespread devastation to coastline and island lying in their erratic path. As an historical examples that happen in India and Dominican Republic, which they have faced the most strongest and destructive cyclone, which also known as hurricanes, dealing with winds about 90 to 110 km per hour, also causes an extensive damage to the electric power system, which greatly affect their country. In terms of their geographical distribution, a tropical cyclone is essentially a rotating storm in the tropical ocean. It is a rotating wind speeds in excess of 94 knots. Its lifespan of a tropical cyclone is on average about 6 to 9 days, and no two tropical cyclones follow the same track. The movement of a tropical cyclone is generally 12 knots or less. So, how the cyclone forms? It is an atmosphere disturbance, forces warm, moist air of the prevailing earthlies to rise. As the air cools, water vapor condenses and falls as rain. Heat energy is released and winds intensify. Also, the storm grows as air spirals inward, rises and exhausted from the top by high levels of wind, and lastly becomes a mature hurricane. How we measure cyclone? There are two ways. First is the Beaufort scale and second is by using the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale, which range from 1 to 5. The frequency of cyclone. Tropical cyclones are a seasonal phenomenon with a frequency varying from an average of 1 per year in some areas to as many as 20 per year. Now we will look into action plans for cyclone in disaster management. Action plans for cyclone disaster management is dealt in three phases, that is before, during, and after the cyclone happened. These are few cyclone disasters in Bangladesh, as taken from a satellite view, as their country are more prone into these disasters. As for phase 1, which means before the disaster happens, it is more on to be aware of what is coming and getting ready. So it will consist of cyclone alert, such maritime or navy, then to inform or alert the division officers, district heads, then passing over to village level, thus making it a mass publicity. The following immediate actions have to be taken by the committee: procure and stock adequate quantities of food grains such rice, wheat flour, dyes, cooking fuels such kerosene, LPG cylinders, dry food such biscuits, dry bread or torch, powdered milk, beaten rice for the distributions to victims. Rescue and vehicles. All government vehicles be kept in working condition. Emergency power. The list of working generators available in the district may be given. In terms of medical, departments should store essential drugs and vaccines for preventive use to arrest the spread of disease or epidemics. Cyclone stores have to stock the following materials such large cooking vessels, hooks for clearing debris, tents for emergency camps, and first aid kits. The following actors must be taken by the authorities such district civil supply officers, the police department, zonal block development authorities, officials of road and building department, executive engineer irrigation department, the designated team of agricultural department, and doctors of district medical and health team. In action plan phase 2, during the disaster, these stages of bodies or authorities will step in: general administrative departments, police, army, navy, and also air force. These are the following immediate actions must be taken by committee during the phase. First is evacuation. Evacuation has been a successful means of reducing the loss of life, but it requires considerable prior planning and coordination of warning systems. Second is rescue vehicles and again the emergency power. On the third phase, which is after the disaster, these are the few things that need to be implemented such rescue operation, relief, rescue and disposal of dead and animal carcasses, health and sanitation, restoration of trains, roads and traffics, distribution of relief and disaster report or statement. Cyclones are no joke, especially for human settlements. The consequences dealt with great loss, leading to people's suffering and sorrows. That is why now public awareness should take place to know the basics for disaster management, to understand the preparedness level and systematic methods. Also, it is good to have a local population to be exposed to such disaster management programs as an early intervention. So, to conclude upon this topic, we must remember that several important activities are necessary during the pre-disaster period. The occurrence of a disaster is a critical time and the response must be quick and complete. The many conclusions drawn and lessons learned from the past cyclone can be used to mitigate and better respond to future occurrence, which can create a positive impact on later period. Also, it must be in a proper planning and manageable manner. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like it. Happy learning. Bye.